Yo, what's good, guys? I'm back. I got another video. All I'm gonna be talking about today is my first time tripping. No intro, no nothing. I'm gonna get straight into it. My first time tripping was with three other people. My three other homies. Me and my one homie were like, we should do shrooms. We should get into it. Like, I really want to experience it. I want to open my mind, things like that. So me and him acquired them, and the two other homies, we kick it with them, but they were just kind of along for the ride. And so our setting was at my homie's house, my other friend that I bought the shrooms with. We'll call him David. Actually, no, we'll call him Dan because I believe I called him Dan in one of my other videos. So I was with my homie Dan, and my other friends, call them Tony and Gene. Tony and Gene and Dan. So basically, we're at Dan's house, and I get my scale. I measure everything out. Everything's good. And we take it was PE, so it was more potent. I believe we did like a .9, just under a gram, something like that. Because it was my first time. I didn't want to go too crazy. But yeah, we took our .9. I kind of chopped them up a little bit and like took them like pills. So nasty. I could not chew it. They were dried. It was gross. But we took them. Nothing crazy for the first, 30 minutes. Felt a little bit lighter. Colors were like a little brighter, but this wasn't too big of a dose to where I'm going to be having crazy changes in perception. And me and Dan know that. Dan had tripped before, but Gene and Tony hadn't, so they didn't really know what to expect. But I personally had done a ton of research. Like, I was super into it. I still am very into psychedelics. So I decided to, do it, and I know what to expect. But Tony and Gene, they were kind of buzzkills. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they were there, they were chilling, they did everything with us, but they weren't really aware of how it affected them. Like, they would smoke weed, and that was fine. Like, I don't care, obviously, but they were pretty stoner like people, and it was kind of just like, oh yeah, let's chill, something to do. But shrooms, especially in higher doses, are really perception altering, mind altering. They open you up to a lot. Personally, they encourage inward thinking, and they also encourage personal conversation and things like that. So I now know that I definitely prefer to trip with people who I'm very close to, someone like my partner or a really, really good friend. But for a first trip, it wasn't bad, but it just kind of set a precedent about tripping that I really did not like, because I knew how things could go by all the research I've done and all the things I've read and videos I've watched. Obviously, that doesn't replace personal experience, but I just wasn't, I didn't get what I knew I could get because of the people I was surrounded with. Now, me and Dan, we were perfect. Like, we had the same mindset. We all both knew how things could go. But Gene and Tony, they kind of just killed it. And it's fine. Like, I know for the better now. But, you know, I didn't know at the time. So we pop them, and we start watching like some documentary on YouTube, waiting for him to kick in. It's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 10 hours, whatever. And eventually, I start feeling it a little bit around the 45-minute mark. And we're all kind of bored, and we're like, all right, let's go outside. Let's go do something. So we do exactly that. We go outside, smoke a little ciggy. And the first thing I noticed was the buzz from the cig did nothing. Like, I'm taking fat inhales. I felt almost nothing, which is probably good because that was in the phase of my life where I was smoking cigs in the first place. Like, I wasn't really like smoking every day or whatever, but socially, which was fine. But I just, like, thinking about it now is kind of nasty. So maybe good in the long run, but besides that, I was completely over the cigs at that point. After that, it kind of made me like quit. I don't know. It was very funny in a weird way. But anyway, after that, we decided to go to a big little park. Not a big little park, that makes no sense. A big park, huge, expansive. There's water, and we're running around, and I start noticing my body. I feel more energy. I feel ready to go. Like I want to run. I feel like a kid. I want to play. And me and Dan are both feeling like that. So we're running around. We're finding this and that, and we're going. And finally, we find like this patch. It's like a pasture almost. And there's trees. And so we start climbing up the trees. And there's oranges in the trees. So me and Dan have the great idea to climb the tree. Dan took the initiative. I'm not going to cap. So he gets up that tree and he starts climbing. I've never seen him climb like that. I've never seen him climb in general, but he really had it. So he got up there, he starts shaking the trees. And this is one of the first sign of like Tony being kind of whack and Gene being kind of whack. He's shaking down these oranges. We're like basically full on tripping. We're not peaking, but like I'm starting to see breathing and colors, and I'm really excited because I've been waiting for this. And spoiler alert, I didn't get any super profound thoughts, but I got the visuals, and this was a really exciting thing for me. And we're up in this tree. He's shaking down oranges, and they're dropping, and he's climbing higher and picking them out. And as they drop on the floor, Tony's like, "Oh, this one sucks," blah, blah, blah. And he gets them, and he starts throwing them at a wall. There's like a little bench area covered by some like stone, and he starts chucking them at a wall. And I was like, "Oh, is that a bad one?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, you could throw the bad ones at the tree." He's like, "That's a good idea." This dude throws every single one almost at the tree. Almost every single one at the tree, bro. Like, I thought he was only throwing the bad ones. He starts just chucking all of Dan's hard work. I'm like, dang, bro, it's kind of OD. But regardless, he just throws and throws and throws and throws. And I'm like, all right. And so we both finally get down. And Dan's like, "Yo, where the oranges that I got?" And he's like, "Oh, I only got 2. He's like, "Bro, I dropped 7. I dropped like 10. Where are they all at?" He's like, "I threw them. They were all bad." Granted, we peeled them. They looked beautiful. We peeled them. They were super sour, full of seeds, like not ready yet. But still, like they weren't even rocking with it. Like kind of just took his work and just threw it all away. Kind of messed up. But anyway, doesn't matter. Whatever, we move on. We keep walking around, and it's getting a little hot. You know, it's pretty hot at this time of year where I live, around this time when I took it. And Gene starts complaining. He's like, "Can we go home?" Blah, blah, blah. We're like, all right. Like, I get it. Like, it's not like perfect weather, but it's time to just, we're going to enjoy nature because you kind of want to be in nature when you do these kinds of things. So he's like, fine. And we walk around, and it's hot. I'm not going to lie. It's hot. But this isn't something you do very often, so I'm toughing it out. And I hate the heat. I'm a much more cold weather guy. But we keep going, and eventually he's just like, "Dude, like let's go get some drinks or snacks or something. I just can't take it." So we go to the gas station, and Tony is bitching too. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, "Yeah, my head is pounding, blah blah blah." So we're like, "All right, like we're gonna be team players." We go to the gas station, get some stuff, and they just keep complaining. So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna get us an Uber." I get us an Uber and go back to the house. Everything's fine and dandy. So we turn on some Rick and Morty. Tony's idea. I was kind of hating at first, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what goes on in that show. It's crazy. There's like like the video we were watching. The dad, not Rick. I think his name is Jerry. Rick's son-in-law. I'm sounding like a nerd. I sound like I know Rick and Morty. I just gathered this from the episode. He like got sent into space as like a space ranger, and then he got like a Mitsubishi sponsorship, and then like Rick was like talking to his therapist or something. I don't know, bro. It was insane. Like he shot someone and like they turned into a fly, and like he could, like, it was crazy. But when I was tripping, it was insane. And like this is where the visuals started to peak. We're in a dark room with the TV, and I start seeing the TV breathe back and forth at me. It's super cool. It's going in and out and breathing, and the colors are looking super vibrant. And like my way to check how I was feeling is I was like, look at my hand. And if I could see anything messing with my hand, if I could see breathing, then I could, like be like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty, I'm tripping right now. I guess is how you would put it. But I was fully tripping. It was great. After that, or actually, I should add, during the episode, obviously I'm tripping, and so I'm like asking a bunch of questions, and everyone's laughing or whatever, and it gets kind of quiet, and so I keep talking, and like I said, I kind of craved like human connection. I don't know, that's just kind of how my brain goes. I'm a pretty sociable guy with those that I'm comfortable with, and Gene just goes, "Dude, shut the fuck up," and I'm in a very emotional state because I'm on mushrooms, so I'm quiet. We finished the episode, and Gene's like, "Could we go outside? It's too quiet in here." And so I immediately pressed that. I'm like, "Bro, I was talking, and you just told me to shut the fuck up. Like, what's up?" And he was like, "To be fair, you were saying some bullshit." I'm like, "Bro, I'm on mushrooms right now. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say?" He just, he was being super, I don't know. I guess he was being affected in his own way, whether he likes to admit it or not. But we step outside and we go skate around a little bit, just around town. And the whole time, me and Dan, we're enjoying life. We got to a little park, like a little water area, splashed some water on ourselves. It felt super weird on our skin, and like it was super cool. Whole time, Tony and Gene, "You guys are bugging right now. Like, I don't even feel it. Like, I'm sober." I was like, "You guys just gotta open your mind. Like, you gotta be ready for it." They're like, "Nah, you guys are bugging. Like, this isn't even like there's no way. Like, you guys have to be faking." And just all of that, like denying my experience, invalidating my experience was super like not cool for me. And Dan was kind of feeling it too, but me and Dan had great energy. We were going off of each other, and we kind of kept bouncing that back and forth, and so things ended up fine. But just like these little snide remarks and just negativity when you're in a stage like that is not, it's not a fun thing to have, you know what I mean? So that was like their downfall. And it's very funny because Gene ended up telling Dan after he got home that he started feeling it like crazy, bro. And after we got back home from skating, they were complaining that I didn't feel anything, so they took another point 0.5. I guess the point 0.5 hit them. I don't know. I didn't really follow up with Tony. He's not my friend, more Gene's friend, but doesn't matter to me. I had a good experience with what I could. And we ended up going back to the house and like watching some fail compilations. And after that point, I was pretty like I was coming down, like wasn't having crazy visuals. I had to really focus hard to get any breathing or anything. And when I was peaking, I would really only get it if I was focusing on a subject. Like it wasn't like my vision itself was breathing and things like that. So that was fine by me. I know on higher doses it's definitely a lot easier to get that kind of feeling, but it was a good first experience, minus all the negativity that surrounded it. But as for like the mushroom effects, I had the breathing. I was very sensitive to light. I had sensitivity in like hearing as well. I could like hear everything a lot clearer, I felt like. And I don't have the best hearing, so that was really nice. Very emotionally open and sensitive, and I did have moments of like self-introspection and like missing people that were really close in my life because of the bad vibes that were kind of happening. Like me and Dan were the closest people there, and we're really close, but not as close as like a girlfriend or a partner and things like that. And I was really missing that kind of that I was craving that, like that intimate connection, and being able to just like explore each other's mind. And I knew that if I was somewhere with a partner, like I would really be able to enter their mind and open up and speak on deep things, which I really wanted, but unfortunately it didn't happen my first time. But I do think I had a good first experience. The first step into that kind of world and seeing how the effects are. It was nice. I didn't hate it. I did get a headache after. I guess that's kind of like the hangovers I get. I know I talked about my microdosing video. I had never gotten headaches like that. I've gotten headaches. I probably shouldn't have spoke in that kind of way, but I've never gotten headaches to the level that they were on the microdose. I don't know why it was so bad. Um, for this first trip, I popped like two or three ibuprofen and I was fine. Like I was moving along. The microdose genuinely, like it made me just go to bed. Like I popped melatonin and just went to bed. It was bad. But yeah, nothing super crazy for my first trip, but just, something to share. And maybe you guys are wondering what a first trip can be like with your friends, and Yeah, you definitely learn more about people when you trip with them and what their emotional state is. So, if you think you got a really good friend, I think it's better to trip with them, someone we're really close with. But if not, tripping alone can be really scary, so I don't suggest that either. So try to figure that out in your own situation. But anyway, that's it for this one. Medium length. Hope it's not too crazy for you guys. I haven't uploaded in a minute, so sorry about that. But yeah, appreciate you guys again. Catch you later. Bye bye.